So, Chris, what are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. Man, you put me on the spot again. That's crazy.
Didn't you get that memo?
I didn't. We're going to talk about high flyers.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. You become a high flyer expert, so we got to talk about it. There's a lot of high flyer guys in our club, and it's definitely one of the other competition breeds that people really get into. So that'll be good.
I'm not a high flyer expert. I have 5 birds that somebody called high flyers, and I bought them. Just being honest. They should fly all day if they really are. They'd probably go sit on my neighbor's roof, and I'll just say that, you know.
Yeah, as long as you set a timer and you can't see it. I mean, every time you look up, if you see a dot, or maybe you see a dot, maybe it's something in your eye. That's my birds up there. Yeah, these high flyers, man, they're incredible.
That's the funniest thing ever.
All right. Welcome to the All About Pigeons podcast. I'm Phil.
I'm Chris.
And Chris wants to get into high flyer talk, so let's do this. I got me the Encyclopedia of Pigeon Breeds by William M. Levi. And he has a nice, of course, there's all kinds of different. Chris, what kind of high flyers do you have? Because I know that there's bloodlines just like in racers and rollers and everything else.
They're Iranian high flyers.
Okay.
There are 2 that are crested, and the other ones are not. They have clean legs. It's a short-legged bird, kind of. Long wings, long tail.
Right, the back end kind of looks like an Egyptian swift almost.
Yeah, kind of. They look a lot bigger than they actually are. That makes sense. If they were naked, they'd be small, like a roller.
Let's see, I bet so it says right here, their size is small, average weight is about 10 to 11 ounces.
Yeah.
So that's this. So this one I'm reading right here, so we're going to do a little story time with Phil here. This is the Indian Pearl High Flyer. Its origin is India, Moti means pearl, and Gerbaz means hawk catcher, the bird that flies so fast that it can overtake a hawk and fly above it. Freely interpreted pearl high flyer. This is the Indian pearl high flyer.
Dude, that sounds cool. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's something. It says that it was first saw the breed. So they're also described as the sky pigeon in northern India, and it's almost identical to the cumulet. The bird illustrated through crouching looks like a flying cumulet. Levi the pigeon in 1957 book. So the description is, it is an endurance or time flyer flying all day long and occasionally turning a somersault. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they. Okay. Its head should be as round as possible, with its eye, which should be as wide as possible, in the center of the head.
I told you they were a tumbler, didn't I?
I didn't know that they tumbled.
Yeah, they're a high-flying tumbler. I don't know if these do, but yeah, that's what I think.
Its plumage is shiny, long, and soft with flexible primaries. And then we talked about the size, 10 to 11 ounces, about 280 grams.
Yeah, they're
plain-headed and clean-legged. But, this is also, like I said, there's different breeds. So if you got some feathers on yours, that's probably just part of the different breed. Do yours have the white eye?
Yeah, they have I think so. Let me look. They got a light eye.
Okay. Then
it's not quite yellow, and it's not quite pearl. It's, they come crested and not crested.
And feathered feet and not feathered feet.
Right. I think these are all, was it grouse-legged? That's clean-legged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that they got a lot of birds. So we talked earlier about this, and in some of the older American pigeon journals I have from like the 70s and 80s, the guy who had the world record at the time, which I'm sure is just crushed by now, but it was like 23 and some hours, 23 hours and some odd minutes. And he talked about the breeds that he had crossed into this bird. And all these high flyers are really kind of a mutt of these high performance birds, to get a bird that can stay on the wing that long.
I have rollers that have stayed out for 3 days, pal. Just saying.
I fly in rollers. That's even more work, man. Those poor birds.
Just, nah, I'm just kidding. I guess you put anything you want into them. I mean, that's you just breed for what you want. You want something that flies all day, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it really they kind of hit the thermals, right? I mean, that's my understanding is they go so high, but they're not just flapping all day. They're kind of cruising, gliding, I guess you could say.
I don't know. Maybe they crossed some turkey vulture into them.
Not
I'm
at that
sure.
size.
I'm gonna learn with these ones. They're ready to go. Kind of wanted to take them somewhere else, but I think I'm just gonna set them up here.
Yeah, and I've said before, and I mean, I think that all performing birds are just super cool birds that you can really train like athletes, like your team. And these definitely fall into that. That is an athletic bird, and I'm sure that there's a lot of training when they're young. And there's a guy that I see on Facebook a lot that he sells these young birds, and 3 and 4 months old, and they're flying for 10 hours. That's pretty
crazy.
Incredible. Yeah,
that's crazy. So I mean, how do you watch that? Is it you got binoculars or?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing with
so I haven't seen them in person yet, so I can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I've wondered. Like you were saying, I got a spot in my eye. That must be him.
Yeah, I mean with Birmingham rollers, we got an old torn up office chair that's perfect. We sit out and we can just kind of kick our feet, and it swivels perfect because they're circles and circles, and they're typically pretty low, so you can watch them perform. And I wonder if those guys really, I mean, it wouldn't be outrageous to think that they would use binoculars, I guess, right? I mean, they are up there as long as you can see your birds and know that they're your birds. And like we said before, that your birds then just go fly and land at some other loft, and you've been watching turkey vultures for 6 hours thinking that your birds are killing it.
I'm not very good with binoculars. This might not be my thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing, because I do like to see, I like performing birds, but I like to see them perform. Parlor rollers, Birmingham rollers, racing homers, watching them trap in real fast when they come back. I guess you're watching them trap in. I guess it's a lot like a racer then, because you kind of don't see them for a long time. You don't see your racers.
That guy's flying all day, and then he just wants to get some seed.
Yeah, so you just see the same thing. You just see the end of it where they're just trapping in, and
yeah,
you're happy about that.
But I mean, how do I know that sucker is flying? How do I know that he's not over at the neighbor's house eating all day? You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's the honor system with your birds, man.
I don't trust not a one of them.
Or
they're all shady.
Or seriously, I mean, they gotta be using binoculars. I mean,
yeah.
Because when I watch the videos and stuff online, they're like, there they are, they're up there, and it's like, especially with phones, dude, phones are terrible at recording.
For sure.
Even Birmingham rollers, those guys with really good quality stuff. It's like, unless
I tried with the really good camera, it's tough. Yeah. If them suckers disappear out of me like that way up there, I don't know.
Well, you're gonna breed though. Are you gonna fly those, or are you gonna breed them?
I thought about flying.
Oh, okay. Can they? So that kind of bird can be resettled and flown again?
Sure.
Yeah. Why not?
Sure. I've been pretty fortunate with the other tumblers and stuff. So,
do you still have your English tumblers?
Nah. Give those to a buddy of mine. I give him the whole family.
So, do you have any tumblers? Oh, you got your Gansel. I guess we were talking about that. You got your Gansels. They're tumblers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Gansels. It's old.
Do you fly those at all?
Nah, not yet. I haven't gotten any babies. These guys are old.
Yeah.
They were a rescue situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they were given to me by someone that was needing homes for things. And I just thought they were super cool. So,
hey, you got that reputation. Anybody who has unwanted pigeons,
no, don't do that.
Don't do that. Ask him. Just mail him his address. He'll be giving him a good.
Don't do that. Oh man,
he doesn't have enough pigeons right now.
Cut.
Oh man, I'll definitely take that part
out. That was from Emily's rescue. She had them. The bug-eyed pigeons are the whole reason I'm into pigeons, man.
That's what was the first one? It was a
Budapest.
was it a Budapest? Okay.
That's what she told me. If I ever had a pigeon, it would be that thing. You know, I was like, oh my goodness,
That
challenge
is
accepted.
that is like the Pixar pigeon, man. That looks like every pigeon created by Disney and stuff.
Yeah, and it was a pretty long quest for that bird. You'd be amazed how many people wanted to give me pigeons. We did end up meeting up with Emily, and she hooked us up with the Gansels and the Budapest, and they're all super cool birds.
That's cool. How do they kind of fly around the house at all, or
Yeah, they get out.
yeah? Do they fly like a quail, or do they can get air underneath of them?
Oh, those birds can fly.
Okay.
They can fly. Every pet bird owner that I've met that strictly keeps birds for pets tells me that these birds don't have homing instincts.
Huh.
So if they get out, they'll get lost.
Oh,
Got little different ideas on that, but that's what I'm told by pet bird keepers.
okay. I mean, our Central Asian tumbler, that's a house pigeon that we have, and even in the house, he'll do a flip or two as he's kind of flapping around, and I take him outside with me, and he'll typically hang out. Every now and then he'll take off, and I mean, he'll go for it, man. He'll fly way up in the sky, but he comes back. He doesn't. He doesn't go out like miles or nothing, but he goes really high up. He'll tumble, and he'll get tired and come back and land on the porch and come back inside.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not too much of a homing thing because he doesn't go far, but he definitely gets to stretch his wings out and do his flips and show off and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I've had the satinets. They've been out.
Yeah.
My Turner rollerbird did a flip in the house the other day. That was funny. But they all get out when it's cleaning time and feeding time and stuff. And fart around with them.
Yeah.
The ones that are in the house. The other ones are in big lofts, so they get their exercise.
How's your racing situation going over there? I mean, I know we're wrapping up. Well, you guys never really wrap up breeding season, right? I mean, you're in like the hot part of Arizona there, so you guys could breed all year, right?
So I'm not breeding until I'm gonna start December. End of this month, I'm gonna start pairing them up. They'll start breeding for December.
Okay.
That way I can get my bands as early as I can, and get some of them birds, some babies banded. You don't want to band late hatches as old birds, or at least I don't. Because you're going to be flying a young bird and an old bird team. And the old bird's stronger, better bird.
Have you ever tried using any of those vitality supplements to increase the breeding or fertility of birds, especially like maybe with them older Gansels?
No, I went down to Mexico and I got a bottle of generic Viagra.
Just crumble it up.
Totally kidding. No, I haven't really tried anything cool.
No. Okay.
We're not really actually breeding. Our pet birds just do bird things. The racers and stuff, they have a schedule. Now my rollers, I got the lights on. They're breeding.
Okay.
I take what I can get. You know what I mean? There's no I'm not flying young bird, old bird. All my stuff's young bird right now. I'm banding those with a different band anyway. I'm gonna get my own band.
Like with your number on it and stuff?
Maybe not.
Those are pretty cool. When I first saw those, I'm like, man, they should all have that. That's pretty smart. But I mean, you get an NPA band that can track it down to you anyway.
Hey, listen, Gary had his number on his band.
Mm-hmm.
They called him at his house and told him the pigeon I lost 2 of them, and they called him and told him that they had his pigeon, and he got a hold of me right away. We got it back that day. That bird had been gone for 3 days. It got returned. It was a bad deal. All my birds were like being crazy, just all over the place. And it slipped out. It's confirmed. It was slipped out. I don't know. I've had some weirdness here lately. They're finally all getting it together. I don't know if it was an overfeeding situation or what. Anyway, 2 of them slipped out. 1 of them got lost and returned to me because it had a number on the band.
That's cool.
And that was really cool. And now it's one of the best returning, birds with the best recall that I've got.
It's learned its lesson.
And it rolls. It's a good bird. I think I'll at least have my silly loft name on it, or maybe just my name or whatever.
Yeah, I gotta get ready to do an order for some NPA bands too, to have them on the ready, so when the season kicks off, we're ready for it. I mean, like I said, it was in the 20s last night, so we're getting really cold out here. I don't have a way to keep lights up on it, but I mean, I've had birds breed middle of winter before in the breeding loft, where I kind of keep everything together, and it'll be in the negatives and snow on the ground, and they'll raise birds super healthy and keeping them warm, and they know what they're doing. They want to do what they're going to do it.
Shoot, that last bird I got almost all the way through the summer when it was born.
Yeah, because the only thing that keeps you guys from breeding is the really high temperatures, is the heat.
No, they breed best.
Oh,
really? No, the pigeons don't mind the heat here at all. Like, a chicken will struggle. A pigeon, to me, it's incredible. They can just do it. And a lot of time I find them standing in the sun. It's crazy, Phil.
I remember they did some sort of thing, because the military used pigeons for years, and they took the pigeons to Antarctica for sending messages back and forth. In Antarctica, we're talking crazy temperatures, especially with the wind. And they did all right. And they say that pigeons naturally inhabit every continent except Antarctica. But with that, it proves that they can survive down there, but there's just obviously no food sources and stuff like that, I guess, is why they're not there permanently.
Right. These guys, not to be as apt to be active when it's cold, they're kind of reluctant, but during the summertime, when the longest hours, because naturally birds, they breed when the days are the longest.
Yeah.
Most every bird I know of does. Most every animal does.
Right.
For that matter. Unless they're breed, they breed in the springtime when the days get longer.
Hey, so what did you think about our talk with John DeCarlo, man? Did you get your mind enlightened on that, did you?
Good talk.
It was, yeah.
It's a real good talk. My audio wasn't the best on the, but
yeah, you were doing some work in the middle of nowhere, and it was awesome that you're able to come on at all, because you never know when you're in a really remote situation.
Fortunately, I was able to connect to a satellite, make it all happen.
I like to hear his prep talk about getting a bird ready for a show. Kind of like with Colton Friedel, when we talked to him. Right. I mean, they both kind of have similar things, but they both, and I think it's probably depending on the breed, of course, what you're doing for your birds.
I think those dudes hang out.
Right. I'm sure all these master breeders have some secret club, like the Illuminati of pigeons.
They got me a white coat.
That's right. They do got, those judges got them white coats, man.
That's right.
That's part of it.
They probably have
there.
a VIP lounge. We need to check that out. Yeah. Because I'm gonna be needing me one of them white coats, so I can get in.
Yeah, well, it starts with ordering the book of standards. I think that's how you get your foot in the door with them. So everybody get your book of standards. We're waiting to get ours right now.
Call Tim at the MPA and order your book. Hey, Tim, I don't have my book yet.
Yeah, well, he said that, John said that it was going to be
for the pageant of pigeons.
Oh, no, he said for the Kentucky show, the Grand National.
Oh, that's right.
So that's a few months, dude. So we got to keep patiently waiting. Our club has the old standard. I think it's not complete, though. I think there's some stuff missing out of it.
If anybody wants to donate an old book of standards, just saying.
Shaking your can for a pigeon book. I like it. Yeah, no, I'm excited about that new standard, man. That's going to be pretty cool with all the updates. And we kind of talked about it with John, but seriously, like, when I look at these old American pigeon journals and they're talking, oh, check out these pictures of the show racer champion. I'm like, it basically, I mean, it just looks like a racing homer. I mean, maybe like a Van Loon or something, like a bigger bird. But, now, I mean, these things have changed. They look so different than those old pictures. So that's cool that they got the updates in there. Obviously, from the Facebook post, we're going to be doing an interview with Ryan from Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. We've done a lot of
That's
word,
awesome.
yeah, the word on the wire, because they advertise their auctions really well, and so I'll pick up that and I'll push it through the word on the wire about when they're doing their auctions and stuff. And I never really read through the list of birds they have because it's such a variety. I mean, they got so many just high quality birds coming out of Belgium, and real good bloodlines, and even more than that, real champion birds, birds that have won these big races. He's going to be a wealth of info.
Ryan touches a lot of really nice pigeons in his travels.
Yes.
Yeah. You can watch that on his loft tours. It's really cool.
Yeah,
those guys have amazing lofts.
Yeah, gets to go into those lofts and see their setups and how they run their programs, and whew, it's different over there.
It's a lifestyle there.
Right. Yeah.
It's Americans, I think, keep our chickens or our pigeons like chickens compared to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And the race scene is just now kind of taking off here in the States. There's, the Hoosier just finished their one loft race. That's probably the biggest one, I guess, here in the States. Then they got Crooked Creek and the one in Florida. And there's a couple of other one lofts that are starting off now.
There's that big one in Texas. It's called.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. We've done a word on the wire segment about it too, and I can't remember the name. But I mean, I think that, like over there in Europe, you're talking about where race clubs have dominated for generations. So the people in their backyards have incredible lofts compared to in America with the one lofts kind of being the incredible lofts.
Yeah, I was saying it over there, you were so close together. You could look over here and see the old man's loft, and you could look over there and see your brother's loft, and your loft is right in the middle. And when all the birds come in at the same time, you're going, come on bird, and it turns out to be the other guy's bird, or your bird lands over there, stuff like that. So they're pretty serious about that stuff. Over here, I feel like pigeons are kept kind of in a temporary setting most of the time.
Yeah.
And I would love to see more bigger, nicer, more well thought out lofts coming a trend. You know what I'm saying? Those European style lofts for the rollers, super cool. I saw one in person the other day. Awesome. 4 kits inside the one loft, and it has like a breezeway in it, and it's cool as heck.
I know there's definitely like a general rules, and we did an episode on loft design. That's actually the most listened to episode right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, people are really getting up on their building lofts, I guess, right now. So maybe
I just revisited it right there.
Did you? I mean, there's a general theme that you want to keep with lofts and stuff, I guess, but it comes down to what breed you're playing with too.
Oh, absolutely.
What your loft's going to be like.
But he's into racers.
Okay.
If you want to know about racers, boy, that's the guy to. I mean, he's been to a lot of real nice lofts.
Oh, I mean, who else has traveled as much as he has to specifically champion lofts like that? That's really unique that he's been able to do that and just gather all these guys' experience and his YouTube where he talks to these guys. So yeah, anybody that wants to ask Ryan a question, we got a post up on our Facebook group right now, and you can just put in there in the comments any question that you want to ask Ryan when we get him on here, and we'll ask him during the interview and get your question answered, hopefully. But we're going to try to hear some of his thoughts on a variety of topics, and hopefully it's really informative for everybody. That's why we're doing this.
Heck yeah. I've watched Pioneer Club Family Show.
Right, that's entertainment. I like that.
You guys are funny, man.
Yeah, they are.
I look at the birds a lot on his auction page. I can't afford any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
Is the
vacation money.
Yeah. Is the NBRC auction still going on?
It is.
Okay.
The Velocity First Rollers Club is doing a benefit auction on the NBRC page. That's where it's hosted.
Yeah.
And I think it goes for 4 or 5 more days.
Oh, it's okay. So it's
yeah. You log in on the NBRC website and you can bid on some very nice donations that have been donated. Most of them are from guys in Arizona. There was some, I guess, that were donated. There's some Kellenbecks or Kellebecks, the ones that fly and do the corkscrews and stuff and other kinds of things.
Yeah, that's right. There was other breeds on there too. So
yeah,
I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I know that there's the fancypigeonauction.com and they'll have a variety of birds, but for the NBRC, this is a good spot to pick up some roller pigeons. You don't see.
No, these are top notch.
Yeah, you don't see that very often where you can go on there and bid on that. So anybody who's looking to start a good family of roller pigeons, man, that's where you got to be. So we're going to be doing an interview with Ryan from the Feathers Elite Pigeon Auction, and drum roll, we're also going to be interviewing an author of some really, really good Birmingham roller books. This guy knows this stuff when it comes to rollers and specifically breeding tactics and genetics. The author David Henderson is going to come on and do a talk with us, which is going to be really good. I'll do the same thing where I'll put a post up there with some of the pictures of his books and him, and you guys have any questions, Birmingham roller related, genetics related, or really anything, feeding, anything like that, I'm sure that he'll be able to talk on that as well. So we'll put that up there too for you guys to ask any questions. Definitely be getting some good answers for you.
Hey, on that, did you hear anything back from Larry?
I have not yet.
Man.
But I have not.
Try and stay tuned. That was just a tease right there.
Yeah. Yeah, we put a feeler out there. Hopefully we have some good news for you guys. We're waiting to see. We're just, all this is about promotion of the hobby. It really is. We don't, we've said this before, but it's worth saying again. We don't monetize the podcast. We don't monetize the YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. It's just about getting it out there. We want to have people hear about pigeons, listen to some of these guys who know about pigeons like John DeCarlo, Colton Friedel. We want to promote it. And that's what we're trying to do right now. So we're trying to get some of these pigeon guys in here for everybody. For sure.
It's just if we can do anything, you can laugh at me and make fun of me or whatever, good entertainment for everybody.
Yeah, and laughing at Chris is just, it's perfect. I love doing it.
It's a good hobby. Ask my wife.
Oh, and then we're going to be speaking with a gentleman from the NPA who runs the Legacy Fund. So he's actually agreed to come on and talk to us. So we got another person from the NPA, which is also very cool because the NPA it's the national. It's all of the country, and these guys put on the biggest shows, and obviously they support the hobby in a really big way. And the whole motto of support those who support you. Support the NPA, become a member. That'll be another good interview right there. So definitely got some good people coming on here. We appreciate you guys listening to Chris and I just jabber on for sure.
Shooting the breeze. Yeah,
and thanks for the people who were sharing. Yeah, definitely. That really helps. Back to what we were just saying earlier about promoting it. Like, share, follow. Tell anybody you think might be interested in it. And get it out there. Let people know that we're here talking about pigeons, and we got some good people coming on, telling us the right ways of doing things with them.
Yeah, everything you hear us saying is completely speculation.
That's right. Don't put water in that.
Right.
Well, and thanks for listening to this episode, and definitely, like we said, stay tuned.
The better ones we get on here, the less we have to talk.
Right.
It's working out nice.
Yeah,
too.
and now we're getting you guys to even ask the questions. So all we got to do is hit record and sit back and have a cigar.
Right. We'll write them down on a list. It'll be completely scripted, and it should only take half a day to edit.
Yeah.